let me just set my camera. There we go. Right, what I've been trying to do is I've been trying to mess with the camera settings to try and make it a bit better, but I don't know. I'm still having difficulty with the focusing. Let me yeah. There we go. That was some good telly there. Me wiping the lens. Hello and welcome to the Wednesday night Napoleonic Wargaming live stream. Today I am doing the bit that I've been trying to put off, really, if I'm honest, and that is the bags on the back of these guys. Now, I probably should have done them before I based them, but I rather rushed the gun a little bit and got excited. I wanted to get them on the base, so I'm probably going to end up paying for that. But there you go. Now, I'm trying to find my Osprey books, which I have up here pretty permanently these days. Oh, there we are. This is the old one. What do I do with the new ones? I don't know. But hopefully, it's going to have the thing that we need, which is a back view of a grenadier. Let's have a look. Ooh. Right, so it's like a crown with wings on it. Blimey. Hello, everybody. Hello. Nice to see the chat filling up there. Let me just sort this. How's everyone this week? Here in the UK, we've had the start of summer. It's been quite sunny. Now, one thing that should be pointed out is the start of summer in the UK is also traditionally the end of summer in the UK. So we get about a week, and then it's going to be it's going to rain according to my thing. We've got rain coming tomorrow, so there we go. That's just plugging everything in to make sure I don't run out of battery. There we go. And let's get it on there so I can see the chat as well. Right, so today I'm looking at finishing off this command group. Let's get that done. Let's make a start at the very least on the bags of these grenadiers here. And then we are hopefully good to go. So, Spanish Grenadier is what I'm looking up on the old Google bot at the moment. Spanish Grenadier is 1808. Let's get the images going on. I tend to find these days Google Images is just such a good resource. It's you just can't look past it, really. So I've got quite a few. Here we are, the Spanish La Romana division. Well, that's exactly what I'm doing, so that's nice. Looking at the picture of the... Okay, we might be able to manage that one. So, yeah, we're going to do the command group here, get those guys finished, and then we're going to move on to do the flames on them. I may end up actually not doing these today, which would be rather an ironic title of the video, because that's the thing I'm fearing the most. But let's get these guys finished and concentrated on, and then we can always do these bags in a bit. They're already based, so they're not going to be any more difficult than they are now. So we can get them done there. Here comes the rain. What a classic. Hello, Quid Victorium. Thank you for joining me, even if it's only for a couple of minutes. Nice to see you, brother. So we've got these. Now, I've also made a bit of a breakthrough with the Luke APS basing. Those of you who were here last week saw that this is the Luke APS basing. Now, the breakthrough I've had is quite simple. I brought these up to show you. These are some fellaine from my Ottoman army. They're actually Peri-Afghans. I also think this guy here, where is he? Oh, no, he's not the one. Is he one of the ones I brought up? One of them looks like Mo Salah, anyway. But I've painted that. I don't know what these are called. The bases, the plinths, I've heard them called. I've painted those with the paint that I didn't bring up. Here we are. Karak stone. So that's another citadel one. You could probably use a khaki, something like that. I've painted that, and on the ones I've done so far, I found that that's been a lot better than you can see some white and stuff here. Now I do need to maybe get rid of these particularly this hard edge here. I'll have to bung a little bit more basing on there, but I'm going to come to that later. Let's crack on with the command. and then we can come to those boys later on. So I've got the final 6 figures here to do. This is going to close out the battalion. I've brought up my Rhinox hide. Now, some of you may remember that I did the bear skins of the grenadiers with this. Now, they're not bear skins, they're seal skins. I always say that fact because it's one of my fun Napoleonic facts. I really like that one. And I've got a bit of Luke APS bag here, so I'm going to use that as a palette. Way too much effort for base for these. Yeah, well, I know, exactly. Luke APS, he lied to me. No, he didn't. So let's get some Rhinox hide on here. Let's not mess about. Actually, I've got a window open, and the wind is blowing up a little bit, so I think we may be getting the rain sooner rather than later. Which, to be fair, is not necessarily the end of the world, because it has been quite warm today. I like it hot when I'm not working, but when I'm rushing back from work to get to here, I don't like it very hot. I also seem to have developed some hay fever as well, which is a new for me. So if I'm sniffling throughout this, apologies in advance. I did try and give my nose a good blow and took an antihistamine earlier on, but I just had a bit of a sneezing fit. So let's get this done. Take my water over here. I'm leaning over the cable to the camera in order to get to the water, which is not very convenient. There we go. In. It was good. Oh, don't worry, well, it's fine, brother. Yeah, so those of you whose video on Sunday on the reasons why Wellington was a better general than Napoleon, it caused something of a stir, which is good. We like the engagement. We like people arguing in the comments, respectfully, of course. But I do like that. So what are your guys' thoughts? Was Wellington a better general than Napoleon? Or am I absolutely mad in the brain pan and Napoleon was just ridiculously better than Wellington? We can't even compare the two. What are your guys' thoughts on that? I think it's getting a bit... That gets a bit better. There we are. Right, hopefully you guys will get a much better signal now. Always Napoleon. Now, to be honest, actually, I'm really looking forward to doing the why Napoleon was a better general than Wellington video, because I think sometimes we can see, oh yeah, Napoleon, yeah, he's a military genius, but we never really think any more than that. So sometimes it's nice to actually think about what makes someone a military genius. Right, now, I've just put out a bit of the Corax White. Now, you may have seen in previous videos that the Corax White is really thick and lumpy. I mean, it is just like a giant lump I've pulled out of the pot. So I'm just going to quickly highlight the trousers on these guys because they're looking a bit grey, if I'm honest. I don't like it, so I like them to be a bit whiter. So this guy here, he's quite great. Let's get his arms lightened up a little bit. And his buddy next to him. Yeah, that's fine. And then we'll crack on with these. It doesn't look like I've washed these with the Apothecary White yet. Oh, I have. Yeah. Oh, weird. Okay. No, I don't think I have. Right, bear with me 2 seconds. I'm just going to go and get my Apothecary White. Talk amongst yourselves. Right, I'm back. Here we are. Now I'm just quickly checking something. And that is the Spanish flags. Hang on. Right, it's cool. Right, so let's get some apothecary white on these bad boys. Now it is, as I say, it is very warm, so I'm hoping this won't take very long to dry. This is apothecary white. That's the Games Workshop contrast white. And I basically just do a wash over the whole model with this. That's going to bring out all the detail, and that's going to help us when we when you've got the white and the model's all white, it can be difficult to differentiate between certain areas of the uniform, and that's what this apothecary white is really going to help with. So I'll just bring that in there. It's a bit thick on this grenadier, so I may end up using that as a well to go back to. They do say you can thin it down with medium, but I have it all paint thinner, you know, acrylic paint thinner. But I don't do that yet. I've done it with water a couple of times, and it's not been great. But they do say don't do it with water, so I can't really complain there, because I've done the thing they told me not to do. So here we are. Quickly ram it on there. I really missed that guy's epaulets there. Oh dear. And finally, up here, the guy who's off camera, of course. Wouldn't be my painting if there wasn't a guy off camera. Reserving judgment till you've seen the Napoleon one. Ooh, okay, fair enough. After the debacle of Sweden in the Great Northern War, Napoleon repeated that disaster. Doesn't seem a smart thing. Okay, I don't know a huge amount about the Great Northern War, actually. I started painting some figures for it. 15mm Dixon miniatures they were. I was painting them as Russians, but that's about all I know about them, to be honest. Jerry, anyone painting right now? That's a great question. Who is painting right now? I see some epic Waterloo sets being painted. That's good. Magineza, yep, I am doing the Spanish. The Spanish are going to be the sort of the army that I do on these live streams. I'm off to Partisan this weekend, which is a wargaming show in the Midlands. Maybe picking up some more troops to do for the Spanish there. Now, I've got the infantry on order. They've not arrived yet, but that's okay. There's no massive rush on them. So I've got those guys on order from the outpost. 20% off, which is nice. And then I will be getting something at the weekend. So I'm going to go a little bit anachronistic at one point, because there's a unit I want to do that weren't in La Romana's division. They very much weren't in La Romana's division. But I don't care. I want to paint. It's my army, and I'm going to do them. So there we go. Does anyone know a good source of stovepipe shakos for the British? Well, my Peninsular War Brits are Victrix, so that's what I use. If it's just the shakos themselves that you're after, I don't know anyone that sells them separately, to be honest. I'm sure there's someone out there, but maybe someone in the chat will know. Alternatively, you could always use Portuguese shakos. I think they're called like Beratina or something. You could use them. They're not quite the same. They've got like a front plate on. But if you've got foul weather ones, so you've got covers on them, then they're the same. They're the same shape, so you could very easily use those. The same way that I use the Belgic shakos for the Americans. They're not the same, but the silhouette of them is close enough. So that's good enough for me. So I'm just doing these on here. The contrast isn't completely dry, but it's dry enough. It's giving a little bit of a blobby effect on the models, or is that just the cameras that decides never to focus in? I don't know, but so there we go. All right, I'm just trying to zoom in a little bit here, just to see if I can get the camera to zoom. Sorry, to focus in. No. Not great. Not great. I need to get myself a new camera, I think. The quality on this one's much better than my last one, but the focus is absolutely shocking. It's almost like it's fixed focus, which is not what you want really at all. I can't bring stuff up and get close-ups and things like that. It's not very reactive. So, there we are. Just tuck them under there. Bosh, bosh. There we are. And this guy. Now, I'm not doing too much on the officer's coat because I'm actually going to do the officer's coat white. Most of the Spanish, I haven't gone for the white. I've left them at Corax white, which is slightly grey, because I think that's probably the colour the uniforms would actually be. But for the officer, just to show that he's got slightly better equipment than everyone else, they usually buy their own equipment. So because he's bought his own, he's got better equipment. I'm actually going to do him up to white. So that's why I'm not doing him too much. What I may end up doing is I may end up basing him and then highlighting him from the base, just so we have the right lighting effect and the highlights are in the right place. So there we go. He's still a lovely model. I'm really, really looking forward to getting him done. So that is that. So next up, we are going to do the black wash to go on the bearskins, because I don't want to forget to do them, so I'm going to do them now. Let's have a read of the comments while we're doing this. Just about to start collars and cuffs on some French infantry. Excellent. You can get stovepipe heads from Gollum Game. All right, okay. Oh, I did not know that. That's a great shout, Jerry. Thank you. General, the division has arrived. Excellent. Jerry McNally, they're trickier than I expected. But it's okay, yeah, that's fine. Napoleon was more bold and therefore a better general. It's certainly you can certainly make a lot more mistakes if you're being bold, so your problems show themselves up more readily than if you just sit there and defend, I suppose. Yeah, that's a reasonable point. Italieri, yeah, that'll be. My Warlord Games sample set will be my plastic mounting for a while yet. Ah, Zvezda, well done, Menno. Those ones are my go-to for 20mm. Although, as I've said before, I'm not entirely sure how easy they are to get hold of these days. But hopefully, they're not too badly affected. But yeah, that's something I'm definitely not getting into. I like my Russians in 1812. Thank you very much. Although I have been reading a lot this week about the Battle of Friedland, which is a really, really good battle, actually. Dan, if you're still here, I might talk to Richie about doing Friedland, because that's a really good one. Right, so that's them done. Lovely stuff. It's not 100 days. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The Napoleonic Wars, June the 16th, June the 18th, 1815. That's it. I'm just going to use this on... oh, no, I was going to use that on a different model over. I've got it over here, but I'm not going to, actually. That's what I brought it up for, but I'm going to put it over here for now. I've also got my super special secret figure here as well, so I'm just going to do a bit of white on that. So this is me painting off camera to keep this secret a secret. Really, really good, interesting video for everyone. I have no doubt about that. There we are. I'm gonna paint his arm. I made a huge mistake of gluing this guy to the base before I'd finished painting him. Now, it's not the end of the world because I can still get round him and paint him. But I want to keep the base a bit of a surprise. So that means I have to do him off camera, which is a really, really bad decision from me. So apologies. Let's just quickly do here. I don't want to do too much on him. I'm aware it's all off camera. There we are. Right. Lovely stuff. So, now the drummer. I don't know what colour the drums are. Let's go back to Papa Osprey and have a look. It usually tends to be that drums are sort of brass or pretty much any colour they want. It's a sort of a brass here. So I am going to not use... am I going to use brass? I am going to use brass, yes. Another great Games Workshop paint here. You can see it's nice and dried out. Lovely. I am slowly moving over to Vallejo. But I'm starting off with... In fact, I'm going to use a smaller brush. I'm starting off with the colours that Games Workshop are just absolutely dreadful with. Such as white, for instance. And I'm slowly moving over, although I'm told their metals are particularly good. I've not gone over to them yet. So let's get some brass going on here. I hate painting white. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, me too. That's why I do these Spanish on stream, because then it forces me to do them. Although I've just joined a fantasy... a Warhammer Fantasy campaign, and in order to make sure I get another army painted for that, I've opted to take my Arabians to that one. So there's going to be a lot of white painted on there as well, which I'm super thrilled about. I don't know why I made that decision. I should have gone with Nippon and used my samurai army, but never mind. There's no white on them. They're the E clan. So they're all red. These Zvezda Elite Voltigeurs. Yeah, no, they are really nice. Zvezda are just so good. They really are nice. It's a shame they never branched out more than they did, but there's a lot of sort of smaller states and stuff they did. So, say Saxon Cuirassiers and things like that are really nice. They never did the British or the Spanish, Portuguese, anything like that, which I always think is a bit of a shame. Speaking of Russian figure manufacturers, I also dug out all my Russian command groups from Commissar Miniatures. Again, I don't know if they're available anymore, but they're very nice as well. The Tsar, in particular, is he's a lovely model. Here we go. So we get some brass tips down the end here. I'm going to switch back to a larger brush for when we do that. Let's get that in there and go large brush. Shazam. I'm going to do this guy's... no, in fact, no, I'm going to do that gold. Do you have the old guard? Zvezda old guard. Oh, right, okay. Lots of high bidding on eBay, I can imagine there is, yeah. Have a look. I'm not sure if we've got them, actually. I'm sure we do, but I can't see them. I'm just having a look for some Zvezda stuff now. Sorry. I think they're. Don't think they are the guard. These are General Dad's efforts. So he's done not a bad job actually. His eyesight's going, bless him. But they're not too shocking. He's painted worse, that's for sure. Yeah, I have pretty much all the 176.7 boxes for most brands. Yeah, I mean, there's some really nice ones out there. I'm still going to stand firm in my love of Strelets. Right, so what we need here then is... oh, yeah, I'm just going to grab this. I can do the back of the Grenadier hats with this. Jonathan Pierce, hi all. Just start with your Napoleonics after watching a ton of your videos. Oh dear. Well, apologies in apologies in advance for that one. Try the new epic battle scout. My 50-year-old eyes are not good enough, so I got a box of French line infantry to start. Well, that's a fine start, sir. With the epic battles ones, what you could do if you rather than just waste them, is spray them, white or whatever. And then just paint the whole model with blue or red, depending on which army they are. And then just use them as stylized game pieces. I mean, I know they come that color already, but if you wanted to have a little bit more nuance to that, then yeah, I think you could do that. And just, as I say, just use them almost like Risk playing pieces. That could be quite cool. Bung that one down there. That's cute. Let me do that in there. Let's get these plumes here done as well. What I really like about the red on these models, particularly on the plumes, is it just adds a spot colour that really draws the eye to the model. I'm going to do the officer. The drummer's red according to this, so I'll do the drummer as well. I was going to leave him white actually, but I'll do him red as well. And it looks like the cockades that they've got are red as well, so... Oh, looks like all the cockades are red. Okay, interesting. Mine are white, so there you go. Happy Wednesday, Stephen. Thank you for joining us from the States. Yes, thank you for being up this early, you crazy lunatic. But it is appreciated. There we go. Bung them on there, bung them on here. And the bit I always remember when I'm when I'm painting on camera, is to turn them up right and do the top. All right, they've already been done. Lovely. Just a bit there. That's cute. Great stuff. Now I'm going to do his rosette. There's actually a bow in his hat. Just a bit there. In fact, I've missed a load of it there. There we are. And let me do in here as well. There we are. Cool. Wash that out, and then I'm going to do a little bit more on the old secret project. These Warlord Spanish are no patch to Perry's, I think. I think you are correct there, sir. Yep, no, I'm inclined to agree with you. The first live stream I did with these, I did a like a bit of a review of them, and I'm not going to lie, I wanted them to be great. I wanted to... All these people are like, yeah, Warlord. I wanted to like poke them in the eye a little bit and say, well, actually, no, these are really nice. But I've got to be honest, they aren't. They are not great at all. That said, I've got 2 more boxes coming, as purchased by very generous fans of the channel. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting them done. They're better than no minis, that's for sure. But was it Wargames Atlantic that doing them in plastic? I think it was. I certainly think they're going to be a lot better when they come out. It's difficult to see how they can be worse. Although that said, I wasn't massively impressed with the Wargames Atlantic rifles either. But I have read a review of their Conquistadors today that says the Conquistadors are really, really good. Now, I don't know if that was a shill review or if it was a genuine real one. But I don't know. I shall have to look into it more. I may end up getting a box of the Conquistadors anyway. If nothing else, I can bung them into my Empire army. I also quite fancy getting some Aztecs as well, though. Alright, here we go. Sorry, I'm aware I'm painting off camera. It's on purpose. But hopefully, by the end of this video, he will be ready for the grand reveal. The reveal grand, as the French would not say. So let's get this one done here. This here. I'm just doing these cuffs. He's going to have red facings, this chap. I was originally going to do yellow facings, but he's got quite a lot of gold on him, and the yellow would have washed that out. So, painting my first box of Periostras as I watch. That's fantastic, mobile and hostile. Absolutely love it. Great stuff. Austrians, General Dan is in the chat, I believe. He's the Austrian man. He's not been asked his recipe for Austrians for quite a while, actually. To be fair, we've not had them on the channel for a while. So that's probably why. But he pretends he hates being asked for him. But I know he's got it copy and pasted already. So, yeah, I think having a brigade or two is fully reasonable. Battles like Talavera, they fought alongside the British. So I think that's okay. Now, one thing I didn't do was, because I didn't have time to find it, if I'm honest, was the green that we use for the facings. Now, the troops that we've got, they're all front rankers anyway. So it's not the end of the world. I can glue them to the base, and then I can always do the green when they're on the base. So that's probably what I'm going to end up doing. I'm going to paint this officer's sword hilt and sword knot gold. I'm not going to do his buttons yet, because we're going to need to do those when we do his... we're going to need to do those after we've done the facings. What I am also going to do gold, however, is the edges of his bicorn. And the straps that keep this his bow in place. There we are. Get a bit of gold on there. I think by going for gold and silver rather than just gold everywhere, that's going to help the mini have a little bit more definition. If he was just bling all over the place, it might not quite look right. There we go. Now I need to do gold on the back of his hat as well. I mean, he's a lovely model. He's a nice foot officer. I suspect that probably more so than in any other army, the Spanish officers would be mounted. But this one, he obviously cares more for his men, so he is on foot. So there we go. That's him done there. Let me get that in there. There we go. Lovely stuff. Happy with that. I brought the brown wash up with me as well, so we'll wash that back. My favourites are the ones I managed to finish. That's a good answer. I like that one. That's it. When he's Spanish, you're done. I'm sure I'll be... Yeah, they're good enough because they're finished. That's... the finished ones are the good enough ones as far as I'm concerned. There we go. A little bit more on the back of him there. Right. Let's get some brown wash. Now, I've also brought a sepia wash up with me as well as the Agrax brown. I'm going to use the sepia on the brass drum because it gives it a little bit more, it keeps the redness of the brass and it makes it look a little bit more polished. The brown over the gold makes it look a bit more antique. Now, I quite like that look, but I get a lot of people don't, so that's fine. In fact, what I might end up doing, in fact, I'm going to use a sepia over the sword knot of the officers as well, just to differentiate the sword knot from the hilt of the saber. So they're both gold, and I both just used the same base gold on them, but it's going to help differentiate the colours a little. And although it'll only be very subtle, it'll trick the eye into being able to notice that they're two different areas. So let's get this on the sword knot here. There we go. I'll do it on his bicorn as well. It'll make the gold a little bit softer, so it'll look a bit less solid. With it being gold sort of ribbon or gold lace, then that might work nicely on there as well. So there we go, sort of a material gold rather than a hard metal gold. That's what we'll do the gorget and the sword hilt with. Jerry McNulty's just rebased some figures you painted nearly 40 years ago. Oh, blimey. Yeah, once a figure's based, I'm very, very loath to rebase them. So fair play to you for that, sir. Fair play indeed. So I'm going to let those dry. I don't want it to run into I don't want the brown wash to run into the sepia. So we're going to do a little bit of metal here. It's not quite silver, it's just a light metal. I'm just going to highlight the epaulette there, around here as well. I believe either I've chipped or missed the very end of his shoulder. There we are, probably missed. There we go. So that's just that done. Lovely. Right, so now the Carrick stone, I said I'm used for the bases. I'm going to use that for the drum skin. We are now just, I'm almost sort of flitting from one thing to the next. Just trying to get a lot of small jobs done for this. There we go. Don't worry if I go over the drumsticks. I'm going to paint those with a darker brown. I'll do the bottom of the drum as well. There's no strap on this drum, which is a bit of a shame. You'd expect that to be modelled on. But there you go. Right, now I'm afraid I'm going to have to leave you guys again for shortly because I haven't brought up the materials I need to do their faces. So, bear with me 2 seconds. I'm very unprepared today, apologies. I did, however, take the opportunity while I was down there to pick up the vital thing that I needed, some beer. So it's not all bad. Oh, right. It is Budweiser though, so it's not all good either. Right, so let's get the faces done. Let's get the flesh done. Now, I've said this before, and I'm wondering actually if I've made a bit of a mistake here in don't go over the white with the Guilliman flesh. You do need to paint a darker base tone underneath it. So I'm going to use a Screaming Skull here. For them being Spanish, it might have been a better idea for me to use Karak Stone. For the next battalions, or the next regiment, I might actually do that. But because I've done half of this battalion this way, I'm going to carry on doing them this way for now. Well, I do suppose people have different skin tones, but still. I think for the sake of it looking good, it'll look better if everyone's the same. Oh, this officer's so nice. He's so nice. I'll get him done there. Again, the officer, he can possibly be a little paler. He would spend more time indoors than the men would. So there's a bit of narrative you can put into your painting, perhaps. You'll notice I've not done his hand. He is wearing gloves. So I haven't just forgotten. No, not this time anyway. I'll do the bottom of his hand there. This grenadier's mug. There we are. And the hands. One thing I do like about these actually is the hands are very nicely sculpted. You often see models with absolute monster hands, but these are quite nicely in scale. So hands are very difficult to do, so I'm told by people who sculpt. I'm not one of those. My sculpting is shocking. So it's all very difficult to do for me. But yeah, one thing that I can praise these figures for is their hands are very nicely done. And that is a difficult, I'm not damning with faint praise. That is a difficult part of the model to get right, that one. So there we go. Let me tuck his hand under here. I think we're good to go there. Jerry, the problem is I now paint much nicer, so I want to give my painter figs a retouch. Yeah, that's fair enough. Other than the Hessian Lieb Regiment, do you know any main formation of troops that had sky blue facings on their uniforms? I do, and I'm sure Lucas from Piano Miniatures does as well, because the Württemberger Light Infantry had sky blue facings on their bibs at their front. Or at least I do according to his painting guide, anyway. So let me just crack on with something here. There we go. Right. So I just waited for the flesh to dry. Well, I say the flesh. It's not the flesh, is it? It's the flesh base coat. That should be dry now. Let's get some Guilliman flesh on there. This is what I find really brings the models to life. This is the moment that they really come spring out of the painting station. It feels almost like sacrilege doing it with this this contrast paint because it's just so easy. But I find the results of properly painting them, for want of a better term, you know, base coat, layer, wash, highlight, wash. I find it doesn't make them look that much better. It does make them look better, but not that much better for the amount of efforts that you're putting in, which is why I am wholeheartedly embracing these contrast paints. I really, really am. They're certainly not perfect, but they're great for what I want to do, which is massed ranks of minis. Now, this is the important one, the officer. The one that I've been waxing lyrical about for so long. There we go. Happy with him. That's a relief. Phew. Let's just go there. Oh, I didn't do his face today. Fool of a took. Braunschweig troops had light blue facings too. Oh, okay, fair enough. There's not a nice match for the green. It's an unusual combination, isn't it? I'll be honest, actually, I actually quite like it, but it's probably an acquired taste. Yes. I've just pledged to the Piano Miniatures Kickstarter as well. Now, I'm not in any way affiliated with it, apart from I know he's a friend of the channel, and I absolutely love his work. But if you do have a printer or you want a battalion or two, I can highly, or 10, I can highly recommend it. He delivered on time for both of his previous ones. And the model quality is absolutely superb. So you'll be seeing them on the channel as soon as I've got enough of them painted. The Württembergers, that is. My 1799 French 75th Army Brigade. Oh, okay, fair enough. Any advice on what colour to use for a Royal Artillery gun carriage? I believe it's a grey, isn't it? I think it's sort of like a slightly blue grey. Yes, I think they are. As I say, I think they're like a slightly bluish grey. Tip for pronunciation: the I, EI in Lieb, is pronounced similarly to I in like. So Lieb, then is it? I mean, life for me, but the Hessians have a dark blue coat, sky blue facings and lapels, or front bib. Yeah. I piped in red to bring out the colour. Ooh, blimey, okay. That sounds like a lot of effort. I'm not going to lie. That does not sound like my type of colour scheme. Not because it's not good. Far from it, in fact. Blue-grey looks like Space Wolves. Yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. Right, so one last slab of gold. Now this, I'm doing this off camera. I know I'm doing this off camera. I promise this is the final part of the... Oh, actually, no, that's not true. I need to do a wash. But after I've done the wash, the brigade commander, the secret project, is complete. And I can reveal him. He's going to need a couple more highlights and touching up and things like that. But I will reveal him at the end of the video as a thank you for putting up with me painting so much off camera. So let's get this done. I showed you the actual model. The general is the one who you may have seen in the first or second live stream. It's the Brigade Games Spanish general. And I wanted to give him a command base that really suited both his stature and really told a story of how this Spanish commander was conducting the war. That was sort of, you know, the thing I wanted to go for. It's quite a grandiose ambition, I know. But I wanted, at a glance, for you to see this Spanish commander and instantly understand that this guy means absolute business. He knows what he's doing when it comes to certain things, and there's going to be no stopping him. So I'm going to do a quick... No, I'm pretty pleased with that so far. That's looking good. Next week, I'm going to get the muskets done. And then we're going to be pretty much there. All I need to do now... Oh, and the facings, of course. All I need to do now on these guys particularly is the straps. So let's Let's squirt out some Vallejo white. See, I told you I was moving over from Citadel slowly but surely. This is some Vallejo white. This is just Blanco white. Your pronunciation just got way better. Thank you, Imrahil. Thank you. That's if I remember that it's Libe, then I will try and pronounce it that way in future. There we go. It's interesting with the pronunciation things because I was terrible at any other. Well, I was terrible at all languages at school. French is the one I did to GCSE. I think I got a D for GCSE French. You'll be not shocked to learn. But most of the stuff, particularly for the Napoleonic Wars, I've only ever seen written down. I mean, in recent times with YouTube videos and things, it's better. But particularly sort of, you think of Oudinot as a great example. He's got quite a difficult name to pronounce if you don't understand French. If you never learned French, you look at his name, or someone like Lan or Murat, people like this. If you didn't sort of know how to speak French, it'd be quite difficult to pronounce, really. Especially when you consider you've got someone like Murat, and then you've got Marat, which, they look pretty similar on paper, but they're very different pronunciations. That's my excuse anyway. I'm sticking to it. Oh, I need to do the packs as well, don't I? I'll need to do that next week. I'm going to do a quick highlight here of where we know the highlights on this uniform are going to be. There we go. And the white straps here. As I said before, these highlights are a little bit more what's the word? A bit more impressionistic. I think Picasso would be proud. Yes, I know he was a cubist, but still. There we go. I'm almost rushing through these straps, because, as I say, I want them to be more. I'm not going to go in for like a 3-stage highlight or anything like that. They're more suggestions, and they're ways of them just standing out against the white of the uniforms. This drummer, he should be quite nice with the white straps as opposed to sort of the grey-white straps against these dark blue and green facings. He should be quite nice, actually. There we go. Let's just go up to his shoulders there, his chest, and round to his belly. Yeah. Quickly use the side of the brush to pick up the raised bits of cord on the drum. I'm sure there's a technical word for them, then I don't know what it is. There we are. The actual wooden part of the drum, I'm probably going to do that sky blue. There you go, you were talking about sky blue earlier on. I'll probably do them with that colour, because that again seems to be reasonably common. That's across the armies, not just the Spanish army. Let me do a bit of a dry brush really on his back there. Right, I should say before we finish, I've still got 5 more minutes, but I should say now that next week there won't be a live stream. The reason being, next weekend, so not this weekend. This weekend we're going to have the second part of the. Well, actually, we're going to have parts 2 and 3. I can exclusively announce today that this Sunday is going to be a double video. I'm going to have ways in which Napoleon was better than Wellington as the counterpart to last Sunday's video. I'm also going to have, now this has taken quite a lot of research, I'm going to do why Blucher was a better general than Wellington as well. So keep an eye out for that one. The Blucher one I'm going to release at 6 o'clock. But don't worry, there's going to be the Napoleon one's going to be at 6:15, which is the usual time I release them. 6:15 on a 24-hour clock, of course, being 18:15. Yep, I am that sad. So yes, but no, the Blucher video will be coming first. But stay tuned because the Napoleon one will be following later. I will be at Partisan, so if you see me, I'm planning on wearing my French Eagle t-shirt. So if you see a fat guy in a beard walking around in a French Eagle t-shirt, then it could be me. So say hello. It'd be very nice to me. I've met a few guys at shows before. It's always nice. My cat now just thought a pair of socks was alive and hit the eject. Have I ever considered a wet pallet? Yes, I have. My brother is a Lefebvre. My brother, he always goes on at me about a wet pallet. Yes, absolutely. Still interested that weekend in Homefirth. Yes, no, that is still ongoing. I need to chat to the guys at the venue about that one. Do you plan on continuing these streams once the Spanish are finished? It's been a good motivator. Yes, Glenn, I do, mate, yeah. I'm not sure what it's going to be. I've got this battalion. I'm going to do some stuff from this weekend. And then we will take it from there, really. I want to get 6 battalions of Spanish infantry and some cavalry, which, as I say, were the Romana's division that came back from Denmark. So that's going to be those guys. But yes, so this Sunday is going to be a double feature. Blucher, ways in which Blucher was better than Wellington. And then shortly afterwards, I'll be releasing the why Napoleon was better than Wellington as well. And that'll be the counterpoint to last Sunday's video, which caused absolutely no controversy whatsoever. I find sometimes it's quite a good exercise to attack people's sacred cows, both for you when you're thinking about the Napoleonic era and try and help them understand where they're coming from. Even if they finish up with the same opinion they started off with, at least they've been able to interrogate their beliefs and why they think what they think is the case. Right, now I'm just putting on the final bit of brown wash to the Spanish General Command Base. I'm going to make this the thumbnail for the video when I've finished it, which is going to be a bit of a swizz. If you'd seen that thumbnail and you watched the whole video, only to have like 30 seconds of it at the end, you'd be pretty pissed off, wouldn't you? But that's the reward you guys get for sitting through the previous hour. So as always, thank you very much for your company. Sorry, I wasn't as prepared as I've been in the past this week. I had I didn't get back in from work until pretty late. We had quite a lot of clinics on today. So without further ado, I'm going to move these guys. They're done for today. They're going to need in the future. They're going to need the muskets doing. We'll do those next week. They're going to need the facings. We're going to do those next week. Then they're going to need basing. I think that's... they're going to need the packs doing as well, aren't they? Sorry. So that's going to be pretty much them done. So let me get those at the back. Let me set the scene. So there we go. We've got some grenadiers. We've got some line infantry marching forward as well. Hope you guys are all excited. Here comes the grand reveal. Grand with an E because we're Spanish. So there we go. Let me try and move this back a little bit. There we go. So my brigade commander, now it's not necessarily La Romana because he's actually reasonably competent. This guy, I'm going to put him down at an angle, so I'm going to bung these underneath. Have to put them no, I will put them that way. Yeah. So drum roll. Here he is, the Spanish commander. There he is. Let me take this out of the cradle. So up camera in front of the lens. There we go. Classic. So there we go. There is my Spanish commander. This is a man who absolutely means business. He is not going to be defeated by the banquet that is waiting for him. He is going to eat that ham like his life depended on it. There's a few bits that need doing on it, but yeah. So that's it. I'm not going to lie. I'm really pleased with it. I got it from the internet, the table. Yeah, I could have printed it myself, but I thought I think it cost me about £6. I thought for the money, it's worth just buying one. It came with the stools as well. But yeah, so there you go. That's the Spanish commander. I've not thought of a name for him yet, but there you go. That's he's going to be. Oh, hang on, I didn't need to zoom in that much. He's going to be commanding the forces of the Spanish army. But thank you very much, and I'll get some stills. I'll put them up on the Facebook page, and that's it. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you not next week, but the week after. Oh, sorry, I also meant to say as well, the reason there's not going to be a live stream next week is because next weekend, General Jam on. Yeah, absolutely, I love it. The reason there's not going to be a live stream next week is because next weekend, so not this weekend coming, not the weekend of Partisan, but the weekend after, we are going to be live streaming all weekend. We are going to be live streaming a massive battle, the Battle of Linney, and we're going to be doing it from about 11 o'clock on Saturday through to probably about 6 or 7 o'clock, and then we're going to start again on Sunday for the second day. So keep an eye out for that. I may do a little trailer for it actually, but yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. This is it, General Jamon. I think we've is it Jamon? Quickly tell me how to pronounce it. And I think we've got settled a name for our commander. But thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you all next time.